Hello, my dear church boys, and welcome back to yet another episode of Saint Robert's Daygame podcast. And guys, you gotta listen to this interview because this guy has some of the craziest stories I've ever heard in my life. He had sex with a swinger's wife in front of the husband when he was just 16 years old in his parents' house. He has been to orgies with up to 1,100 people, swinger parties in German castles. He used to own an escort agency in Germany, and he used to be a male stripper when he was really young, and this story is the most hilarious one of them all. And if you are from a German-speaking country, he will tell you how to get in a swinging scene in Germany and other German-speaking countries. But before we get into this podcast episode, a few updates about what's been happening. I'm recording this podcast episode from a small hostel in El Calafate in Patagonia. Still enjoying the day game off season, but pretty soon I'm heading north. I'm going to Chile, I'm going to Peru, and then I'm heading to Mexico where I'm going to be coaching one student. I still have one coaching spot available in Mexico. Then mid-April, I'm heading to New York City, so I will have one coaching spot in New York City or anywhere else in the USA. And then, because the Europe is getting warmer, I'm heading back to Europe to open the day game season. If you're interested in joining in my adventures in Mexico, New York City, or somewhere else in the USA or Europe, then well, click the link in description, learn more about how coaching with me usually works. And if you are interested, fill the form at the bottom of the page and I will get back to you with all the information, the cities, the prices, the dates, and everything else. And if you're new to my podcast, then we're a community of action-oriented technical day gamers. We have a group chat with more than 400 guys from literally all over the world. And if you are new to my podcast, then we are a community of action-driven technical day gamers. We have a group chat where we have more than 400 day gamers from literally all over the world. There is zero mental masturbation. There is zero complaining about how hard day game is. It's all technical conversations about day game. You can ask questions and get them answered not by keyboard warriors, but by good day gamers who have proven their knowledge by getting very good results in day game. If you want to join our community, head over to strobert.blog, that is strobert.blog. Fill the form there to join the community, and in the welcome email, you will receive an invitation link to join the group chat. And now, let's get to the crazy stories. Let me start by quoting our conversation. 6 and 18 minutes. Hey bro, are you in Riga? Me. Yeah, for a few more days. Robin Hood. Available in 1 to 2 hours for a date? One lady, you and me? Me. Haha, why do you need me on a date? Robin Hood. She wants a second dick, bro, and I know that we two can perform quite good. So that's how we met. 1 hour after you sent me that message. And as soon as we open a bottle of champagne, we get comfortable. Your chick flakes on us. Mm-hmm. Yes. And we are not having a threesome with a lovely lady, and we're sitting drinking champagne, eating some grapes, waiting for our sushi delivery. Yeah. We messaged a few chicks, but we are not having a threesome today so far.
Damn it!
Yeah. Damn it! Very sad. And but then, like an hour later, we hear someone at the door, and a handyman of the building has come to fix something with the door, and he thought there's no one in the apartment, so he just opens the door, and we're sitting here looking at him, and as he leaves, imagine he walked in, and we were double teaming a chick at that moment. So, a year ago, we were sitting in your apartment, getting all types of chemically fucked up, and talking about life and sex and all kinds of adventures, and you told me a lot about your adventures in, well, we're gonna say as much as that you're from Germany, And you were telling me stories about the city you're from and the orgies with 100 people that you've been to during COVID times where it was all illegal and where police would show up to orgies. And you also told me that there was an orgy in the news where they like closed and the police showed up to stop an orgy with like 150 people.
Right.
And you showed me that article and you said,
Right. Yes.
I was there.
In the news. Yeah.
I was there. So what's your story when it comes to this part of your life?
Early ages, when I was 16, so at least a few years ago. When I was 16, of course, I was living in my parents' house, and at that time of age, I received my driving license for a small bike, a motorbike, for a small one. And by using that, of course, you need from time to time to join that thing. What you mean, even if you own a car, a bike, that vehicle needs something to drink, fuel. Okay, so I stopped by at gas station, did what I needed to do, went to the cashier, and beside the cashier desk, I saw a few magazines for adults, and I tried to raise, not up, but low down my voice, so that I don't hear like or sound like a 16 years old or a young boy. And I tried to buy a few of them, and it worked out. So I was that happy. Straight back home to my kids' room, locked the door. Jerked a few times, but then even when I finished watching at those magazines, on the literally last pages, I found out that there are some announcement. So from random people, single ladies, single men, couples at least, they are split in specifically categories, straight sex, different sexes, and all that stuff. So when I said, "Whoa," yeah. And now like, yes, they are searching, they're looking for a random guy who will join that situation. So, and I was really interested in that couple thing. So I said, okay, that sounds really cool. And the thing was to get in contact with them, to figure something out. The next stage was at the time just to go into my dad's office at home, sit on his desk, put out his writing machine.
Are you that old? Did you write a fucking letter?
At that time, yes. I mean, I'm in between some ages, yeah. So.
Wait, are you like what are you like early 40s, right?
Yeah, early 40s.
Early 40s. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's still young.
So, I mean, it happened even when I was 16. Yeah, so.
Back in which side of Germany did you live on? West or east? You know, because that was
yeah, definitely.
That's a big Soviet
factor.
times.
Yes, that's a big factor. But I got born and raised up in Western Germany. So, but at that time, of course, we had early ages or situations with World Wide Web, with internet. But
it was before, right?
It was internet just started at that time.
Okay.
You know? So, but of course, mainly people used writing machines, letters, and all that stuff. So I did that thing. Yeah, I wrote some letters, let's say 10 different announcements, and I brought them to the post office, put some stamps on the cover, and sent them away. In those letters, the main idea was, or the main information was, okay, you can call me on the cable phone from my parents because I'm a student. I'm an 18-year-old student who's living in my parents' house.
Yeah.
And you can only get in contact with me by either cable phone, which
by calling and saying, "Can I talk to your son?"
Yeah, but please only call on Tuesdays and on Thursdays in between 6 and 8.
Okay.
So something like that. So, okay. I sent those letters away, and a few weeks later I received an answer, one.
A call or a letter?
It was a letter at first, and I said, well, we are a couple. He at that time was something around early 30s, and his wife was in the early 20s, in a neighborhood town, so not that far away. And they said, okay, well, we received your letter, your idea to meet with us. It's pretty cool. Let's do so. We give you a call, and or either you can call us. So we had that call. We fixed the date, and yeah, the day was coming closer and closer. I got more and more nervous on that. And one of my best friends at the time, I told him, and he said, okay, well, what are we gonna do even if
Don't
that...
use your name. I have to edit it out every time you use it.
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I will cut it out.
I tried to organize everything with one of my best friends at that time, in the same age, and we had that idea that I will meet that couple at the gas station, a specific time of day, and it was a Tuesday. You know why? Because on every Tuesday, my parents went to the church gospel choir. Yeah, so from 5 until something around 8:30. Mainly after that choral, they went with their friends to some restaurants, hang up there, and so that was a time spot. I communicated that to the couple and said, okay, you're welcome at my parents' house. Let's meet up at the gas station.
Wait. You met them at your parents' house?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. We met at the gas station. I brought them to my parents' house. My parents' house is in a private street where only 5 houses are located, and my parents have the last house in that road. And of course, all the neighbors who live beside us, let's say a few of them, they recognized that a random car is following the son of the neighbors, etc. So yeah, it was not a hidden activity. So everyone in the street got noticed of it. And so we met at my parents' house. I prepared everything. My kids' room. I
Did they know that it's your parents' house?
Of course.
Did they know how old were you?
I think, even when I think about later about that situation and with more experience on that lifestyle community, of course. So I think when I'm thinking back to that situation, then this situation gave kind of a special kick. So a kind of a not clear situation, a random teenager, young boy, yeah. So in a private family house, yeah, and of course they recognized that it's not a separated apartment, it's one room on the second floor of a private house, yeah, and a radio station in my hi-fi system, yeah, and all that stuff. So, and I was quite nervous. 16 years old.
Was this your first sexual intercourse?
No.
You're not a virgin?
No. At that time I was not a virgin, but also I was not that experienced. So it was a mix of, let's say, everything.
So how was your first experience?
My very first experience?
No, this experience.
On that date. Okay,
yeah.
I was sitting on my couch, on my sofa, which realized was my kid's bed, and she was sitting beside me. He was sitting in front of us in a separated chair, and she was clothed with in sexy dessous, high heels. She was wearing a mini skirt and all that stuff because it was summertime. And then he said, "Okay, well, my friend, how do you like my wife? Is she beautiful? Does she attract you?" And I said, "Oh, well, of course." I was giggling. I said, "What?" And then he was kind of a commentator, yeah, and tried to interact and give us kind of commands. And then he said, "Okay, you want to touch her titties, her boobs?" And I said, "What? You allow me that?" And he said, "Well, of course. That's why we are here." I said, "Whoa." And I did so, yeah. And she opened her shirt, so I was able to touch her plank and straight boobs. That was amazing. That was amazing. And then she tried to kiss me, yeah, to cuddle me, yeah, slowly interaction, because, like you asked, of course, they realized that I'm really
Inexperienced.
less on experience. Yeah. So and that was a great situation. So yeah, bit further. Then she opened my pants, tried to get on my dick. Yeah. She was touching it by my dick on her fingers, and she recognized that I'm really nervous and all that stuff. Yeah, and I'm really close to my break even. Yeah, and and she started to give me a blowjob. Yeah, and really after 2 seconds or 3 seconds, yeah, I said, "Wow, bam! Here comes the first shot." Yeah.
Wait till you came?
She was sucking it, yeah. So whoa, and they said, "What the fuck is she doing?" Yeah, really great. And yeah,
Is there food here? Oh, our food is here.
yes.
Okay, let's
So-
pause this. We will resume in a second. So we had a bit of sushi. We're back to champagne. And while we were having sushi, you told me something that I think you had told me that, but I had forgotten about it. You told me that you used to own an escort agency in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's right.
I'm listening. Because by the way, we're not going to go into details, but you do
Yeah.
a very serious job, as serious
Yes.
as it gets.
Yes, yes.
Wait,
That's-
come
that's-
here, so we're in front of the mic. It's going to be
That's
better
true.
audio.
That's true. So at first,
So cheers.
cheers, my friend. You know, there's something inside me. Why are you smiling?
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anyway,
something
so-
inside you.
Yes, that tries to come to the outer world from time to time. So not only from my sexuality side, but also from ideas, let's say business ideas. And here comes the point. In one specific situation, I was just thinking about, okay, because I know some guys who are for long-term-ship in that business model, said, well, I respect them. I know how they build up their business. Empire, one of them, which is really huge all over Germany, and a few other guys who are more operating in specific areas. So I had deeper inspiration on all that business, a deeper view how things are gonna working. Let's say the management, because at least you need to operate in a straight management system. Even when you think about to build up such a business model in these days in one of the most or main Western community countries, also legalize wise. No? So you have to deal with tax department, duty control, all that stuff. So when I said, okay, even when they are successful and they are chilling most of the time, and they are not highly effective, how they proceed their management decisions. I said, well, I will do it much more better, easier. That was my challenge, and I faced that. I made my business plan on that. I organized to build up a limited company in Germany, and I signed a marketing PR agency for a specific landing page, which is not stereotype looking with colors and big boobs and all that stuff. So I said, okay, I was really doing kind of business plan on that as I learned it in university. Yeah? So, and it was working. Yeah, it was working. I was operating at least for more than 4 years in 2 metropolitan cities or areas in Germany. And my main clients, my main customers, I got them from expos. So there are 2-3 cities, metropolitan areas known for huge expos, and every month is something happening there. A lot of managers and people coming from all over the world, from abroad, and stay there at least for 1 or 2 weeks in their hotel, apartments, what else. And they feel lonely. Yeah. So, and it was all about how I can specify the client field. And I was also in that idea, in that way of view to the business model, trying to coach the ladies. Because I was only a guy who owned with my company a few landing pages, or also in cooperation with some bigger named companies or bigger named platforms in that field. And I was collecting, like a fisherman on the sea, I was collecting orders from clients. And then on the other side, immediately, I was offering those orders to some ladies and said, okay, well, here's a client. And as much as I had more information about the client, the ladies felt more safe, not only from security point of view, but also from what will happen there in an appointment. Who will I meet? Is it a 100% random person, or I have at least a few informations? What type of person is he? Which age? What background, management background, job background, and all that stuff. So, and also even when after such an appointment, for example, I was not only calling that ladies to check up how they feel personally wise. Of course, I did that every time, and but also I was trying to get new informations about the clients, to build. It's all about data. It's the same like with Zuckerberg, with Facebook. If you have much data, you can work with that, and you can build a business on that. So, and I did that, and I had my success story. But until after a while, I needed to make a decision which way I want to go. So the serious job, and it was not that easy to hide that business under kind of a blanket. And so I needed to make a decision at one point, and I said, okay, well, I stay in the serious way.
So you closed your agency?
I closed the agency. I earned quite a bit money, some bucks, and I had definitely my experience by that. And also the main experience was not only the business model, set some ads and communication with clients, make your sales process on phone, different sales channels, yeah. So, but also that you deal or communicate and try to develop the lady community who are working with you, and man, that was really sometimes brain fucking. So I had some situations really. There was one client really. He was a cool guy, middle ages. He was every quarter of a year in Frankfurt, middle of Germany, and he was one of the top managers. I cannot even tell his name, especially also not the name of the company.
No, don't do that. I have
So,
to edit
yeah.
all of that out.
And he never asked for or some sexual situation for an appointment. What he wanted is just something that he's kind of a slave. The lady has to dominate him, not only even by words, but also given a golden shower and the brown thing, some slaps in his face, kick on his balls and not dick and all that stuff. But he was willing to pay up from 2.5 grand per hour. No? What do you think was the first reaction from ladies in that field? Even when I said, okay, here's a guy, you don't need to have sex with him. Yeah. So he's not waiting for that. But instead of sexual interaction, he wants like this. What do you think was?
I don't know, negative?
So it was hard for me to find a lady in that business field who joined that guy.
But did you look for someone in the BDSM community?
From the lady sides?
Yes.
Until that point, not. After that, yes. So and it was hard for me to understand. I mean, even I say to the ladies, hey, you get a 3-time higher, a 3-time or sometimes 4 or 5 times a higher output on per hour, and you don't. And you meet a guy who is not expecting a sexual thing.
But they prefer sex.
Yes.
It's what
so
they know.
said, well, she was saying, oh no, I feel unstable in that situation for myself. I don't know how to deal with such a person, so it should be better to date a fuckboy. I said, well.
Yeah, but maybe they weren't sure of their. Maybe they weren't sure of their ability to actually. To be good enough in providing those services?
Yes.
Or were they just kind of too lazy to shit on a guy?
I think it's not the same.
Maybe it was their it was crossing their limits.
Crossing the limits is one thing, but mainly additionally to crossing the limits is that those ladies in that business field they want to lead a situation. They want to be the leader. No, not the client. So that was one specific experience. So also some communications with sugar daddies who are searching for sugar babes and all that stuff. So, man, crazy, really, really. And interesting people, really. So
yeah, there's also a whole different kind of niche is sugar daddies, sugar babies, where those sugar daddies are actually looking for a girl on those sides that they could actually date seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I had an interesting conversation on my podcast with one of the guys who teaches guys how to do that, but the number one thing he taught guys, well, one of the first things was, look at how long she has been on the site. If she's really fresh, go for it. If she's not, she's gonna play you like a motherfucker. She is sick game. She knows what she's doing. She's gonna milk you like a motherfucker. Yes. But she's fresh. She's just testing out the waters. You can get her off the platform, and then it's like
catch her like a fresh fish.
Yeah.
Out of the ocean.
So this is one question I wanted to talk with you about as a guy from Germany. In our community. Guys from Latvia would say girls in Latvia are really hard to sleep with. Guys in US would bitch that, it's so hard in the US. The girls are so hard to sleep with in New York. And then you talk to guys in Argentina, and you're like, or guys that go to Argentina, they're like, oh, girls in Argentina are so hard. And one place that everyone is bitching about is Germany. But Germany is a big country, so there are a lot of people, so you can't really listen to that, because a lot of the people in the audience and in my niche, in my industry, will be Germans. Just because how big the country is in Europe, so statistically a lot of people in Europe will be Germans. It's one of the biggest countries in Europe.
Yeah.
So, and so that's why not like I'm listening. I hear them. I respect their opinion. I assume that it could be that Germany is hard. But I wanted to hear your opinion. You're a German guy who is doing very good with the girls, has run an escort agency, has been fucking someone else's wife since 16, trademark.
By the
So
way, I'm
what do you
doing
think
it
about
also.
German girls?
So, my experience overall these days, I can say Germany it's a really international country, definitely. So, you
We're
have-
talking German girls. We're talking about German girls.
yeah,
Only German.
yeah, straight German girls, you will not find them.
Well,
So, really, because
born and raised in Germany.
second or third generation from another country.
They were born in Germany. That's
Yeah,
the rule.
yeah,
If they were
yeah,
born in
yeah.
Germany, they're German.
Yeah. Okay. So, it's I would say it's all about culture. It's all about culture.
What?
Culture.
Culture.
It's
Okay.
all about culture.
Okay.
So and definitely. I mean, give you one thing. There's one platform in Germany. A few of your audience they know it. It's named Joy Club. So Joy Club is the biggest brand and the biggest platform there. They're operating in Germany. They started 11 years ago. Recently, they have more than 3.5 million user. So when you think about in that total country, you have 83 million. So capture the really young guys and the really old people. So something in the middle between 45 million people, and 3.5 million of them, let's say something about 10%, they are in Joy Club.
So what is Joy Club?
Joy Club is a platform where people can interact. It's something like Facebook. It's a lifestyle platform. You can go there and find a group of people in specific fetish things like BDSM.
So it's all about sex.
It's all about sex. You can inform yourself. You can get some informations about things. You can get in contact with people. You can subscribe some parties, events. What else? It's a mix between Facebook, Tinder, Bumble, and a TED Talk. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and there's a reason why that platform is so successful operating since more than 1 decade. And here I'm coming back to your question. What is about the German girls, German ladies? So German girls, German ladies, they are really independent. They
Yes.
have their specifically idea about their life, that they want to stay independent, not only financially, but also about how to organize their life. And also in that spectrum, of course, there's the sexual thing. And with all the thing, what is happening around them, Joy Club here, Tinder there, and all that stuff, experience from friends and their own experience, they say, well, I'm a human being. I have some needs from time to time. And they go out, they date, they are on dating platforms. Of course, you need to treat them like a woman, like ladies in the beginning. And they see, they feel from how you communicate, how you chat, how you text, how you talk or interact with them. Are you authentic? Are you straight? Yeah? Or are you faking something? No? And they give you straight an answer. Yeah? So
what do you feel they are reacting better to? Because in some parts of the world, women react better to men taking charge. In others, they are reacting better to sort of playing equal roles. If you take charge too much, they're going to be very against that and they're going to stop communicating with you. So what's the thing in your eyes in Germany?
As you told, Germany is a big country, and
Of course.
it's
But we're generalizing.
yeah, and it depends a little bit, even if you're gonna meeting a girl from countryside, no? Or from a huge city.
Big cities. We're talking big cities.
Big cities. So big cities, number one, they're anonymous. No? So not everyone knows other one people. No? So you can jump into a big water, do something new for you, meet random people, and that's it. Yeah. So overall, my experience, of course, and that's also the way how I date and how I succeed. Yeah? So, and it's not only about new days, new century, and all that stuff, all that blah blah blah. Back in the days, every girl gets educated by their parents. The parents have their spirit, values, and all that stuff. And so even when you stand your man as a gentleman, not a male pussy. And one thing I ask every girl on the first date, do you like more the macho or, let's say, kind of a male pussy?
Okay, yes.
And 100% of them, they say nothing. That means...
They think male pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. They say, well, you cannot... Then after 10
You have to
seconds,
rephrase, yeah.
After 10 seconds, and 10 seconds can really be a long time, no? Without speech and interaction. I say, well, let's say, okay, something in the middle, a gentleman, macho, no? Who treats you outside as a lady, as a princess, or let's say a queen, no? And behind closed doors, that should be something different. They say yes. All of them, they say yes. You know? So I would say very in between is the answer to your question.
So there is a lot of respect. If you look at the model, the approach to women that works, there is a lot of respect. And respect, like in formal respect or whatever we call it, will be needed in your eyes to succeed with German women. Okay, I just wanted to touch briefly on this. Let's talk parties.
Parties, yes.
Yeah, tell me some stories.
Oh hell, oh Jesus Christ. So, I give you some names, for example, party names, okay? No person. Kit Kat Club in Berlin.
Everyone knows that.
Huh? Or let's say just fetish parties. So, another story. My first experience when I entered a swinger club. That's that interesting.
Of course, let's go.
I was in my early 20s. After my university, I had my first job in a very serious company and business field. I was at lunchtime with one of my colleagues, female colleagues. It was Friday, and that is important because at that time, every Thursday on a week, we had on a TV channel, which was not ProSieben or RTL, it was Fox. There was a show. It was named Wahre Liebe, True Love, and the commentator, the moderator, was a female clothes, or a man who was wearing lady clothes, no? And fake hair and all that stuff. So his name for the show was, or still is, Lido Wanders. So, and they were talking only about sex. Lifestyle parties, swinger parties, all that stuff, no? Straight sex, gay sex, all that stuff, yeah? Sex toys, so. And back to the story, Friday, lunchtime, my female colleague and me, we were sitting on a table, eating our pizza, and she was asking me, I was asking her, hey, name, blah, 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 do you know what I'm really interested in to figure out for myself? And she said, to join a swinger club? And that was what I wanted to say to her. I was so wondered. I looked up from my pizza box and said, "Well, great, yes." And then she said, "Okay, yesterday, Thursday evening, you saw that TV show also?" And I said, "Yeah, that's the reason for." And the same day, we said, "Okay, well, just let's organize, plan, and do that. Yeah, we don't need to reschedule that for the next month or what else." And the same evening, same day, we figured out that it was a party in a swinger club, 1 hour ride away from our town. I said, "Okay, let's go there as a couple." I called the swinger club manager and said, "Okay, we are newbies in that field. We want to join your party, your location. Can you help us a little bit?" Yeah, something like that. He said, "Well, of course, no worries. Come over here." And we did so. Man, we were so nervous during the whole ride on the highway and all that stuff, and all the time, me or he, we were talking about, okay, are we really gonna do that? And I said, well, I have a look at you that nothing gonna happen. And she said, "Well,
let's just have some champagne and see how this ends."
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool. We entered the club and we parked on the parking field, and at the same time a few other cars parked there. People get out of their cars, watching at us, we're watching at them, and we said, "Okay, it feels like even when mom and dad catched you, even you had done something forbidden." Yeah? We said, "Well, they are going to the swinger club and we also." So smile at them and they smile at us. So we all went to the entry door, said, "Okay, our names are this and that. We gave you a call ahead." And they said, "Oh yeah, you're the newbies. Well, we support you a little bit. We bring you to the locker room and all that stuff." Oh, at the locker room there was a couple. Oh Jesus, that lady, she was great. Straight. The couple, he and she there, they recognized that my compagnon, my female compagnon and me, we were pretty new in that field. We were so nervous. And she was already dressed for the club. She had over-knees, over-knee high heels, 20 centimeter. I'm not that tall, so she was a bit taller than me. She had black long hair, like that in the TV series Barbarian Lady Xenia, and shiny blue eyes, a great body, smile, awesome. Yeah, and she said, "Well, you're new here, first time?" I said, "Yeah, I was stuttering. Yeah." I said, "Well, my friend," she was all the time looking at my body and through my dick, and I said, "Ah." and her husband, he was smiling, cool guy, and then he was smiling and slapped me on my shoulder. I said, "Well, you don't like my wife?" And I said, "Well, she's cool, she's beautiful." "No, then touch her a little bit." Yeah, so. Yeah. And then next thing happened to the next. Yeah, I went over to the bar, had some drinks. Then she took my hand and she showed me the back rooms, and it was pretty cool because you have a dancing area, for example, you have a food area, you have some bars, you have the resting area, you have a playground, dark room, all that stuff, pretty cool. I was like a kid at Toys R Us.
That was your first swinger?
That was my first swinger party experience. Also have experience with smaller parties at some hotel rooms. Hotel parties, private parties with maybe only 10 or 20 people. But also one of my friends, he's one of the organizers of the biggest parties in Germany, with sometimes 400, 600 people in specific locations, with wellness places and all that stuff, and party and disco and clubbing and so on, and it's pretty cool. I was joining some fetish parties, gangbang parties, eyes wide shut parties.
What is that?
The male attractors were clothed in suits, classical.
So it's like strict protocol, like protocol parties.
Yeah.
In BDSM world, they're called protocol thing, like this.
Yes, yeah. And the ladies just sometimes just straight naked, only heels, and something like that. Those parties sometimes acting in castles. Those locations are so cool for such events. Can you imagine that? And you have a DJ. It's partly open air, and some things happen inside a castle, which is of course away from the rest of the world. No village or sometimes no big cities is close to.
So you were having swinger parties in, or like an orgy in a castle.
Yes.
Lovely.
Yes. Well, also industrial areas. What else can I tell you? So
What's the biggest swinger party you've ever been to, in terms of number of attendees?
Oh, yeah. There was a fetish party. They after the party they announced the number of people who joined that. It was more than 1,000 people. Something like 1,100 plus minus 20 or 30. So that was huge. It was really international. People from the Netherlands, Belgium, France, UK, mainly Germany. Okay, but from all over Germany, they came to that place, to that specific party, for some reasons, and they joined that really. So it was clubbing, it was fun time, all types of sexuality, all types of sex. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the biggest one. But what's the one party where you've been that has left the biggest impression on you?
Yeah. It was not that party in Hamburg, which got crashed by police. Posted up in the news.
That was hilarious.
So that was
I told you
hilarious,
could
yeah.
been there.
So
that was funny.
It was a party in Frankfurt, organized by some cool party organizers, a group of boys. I know them since a few years. They had a really cool location. That is a very important spice for the dinner location. They had a cool DJ, so for the atmosphere, music, and the guest list. Yeah, and we were, let's think, something around 40, 50 people there, mixed mainly couples, a few single ladies, and a few single men. Okay, and the headline of the party was that it's something in Germany. In German language, we say Herrenüberschuss, more males than ladies. So, of course, there are ladies or couples. They appreciate to have an experience or situation with one additional or two or three additional single men. Okay, so that's a total different headline for a party. Even when you say it's a straight only couple party, there's less interaction. Yeah? So, but here, no, there's definitely gonna happen something. And yeah, so we joined the party. We came there. We had a kind of a code for dressing. Men had to dress in a suit, or at least with a white shirt and dark pants and shoes. And the ladies just sexy high heels, dessous, and all that stuff. So and the starting sequence was great. They said, and had never before such an experience, and I have a few in that field. What they made differently was they said, okay, after the first drinks and welcome speech to the audience, they said, okay, we have a separate room. Only 10 men can enter that room, and all ladies who want to join them, it's not limited by numbers, can go inside, but only 10 men. Then we will lock the door, and one of the organizers is inside to have a look about that everything is fine and clear. And the main rule is that all 10 men have blinded eyes. Okay? So they cannot see who is giving them a blowjob or what else. Yeah?
Yeah, but if you're a straight guy, you're risking some dude giving. Oh no, but that's why the organizer is there.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, that's why the organizer.
That'd be my concern.
Yeah? So, and the thing is, it was pretty cool. Man, they had to be naked there. Yeah, and from the other perspective, from a lady's perspective, pretty cool because the first getting contact sequence is so easy. You can check, you can touch. Yeah, you don't need to have feel some fear. For example, does that guy feels or thinks that I'm attracting him or not, or what else? Yeah, so that was pretty cool. From my perspective, I had blinded eyes, and really they checked that I'm not trying to have a look under or over or something like that. And some soft music was playing there. Yeah. And a commentator was saying, okay, now we start. Yeah, we close the door. The bunnies are in the room, and he was saying, okay, bunnies, you can do whatever you want with that guys. Yeah, but don't unblind them until we give you all the commando for that. Okay, so, and I had a blowjob with 3 ladies at the same time, and it had really, I never had it before, and it was
that's one thing on my to-do list.
And it was not, I was not, and the cool thing was I was not able to see something. I was feeling, and I was only allowed to touch them. Even they support my hand to their boobs, face, ass, what else.
So you can only touch them if they make you touch them.
Yes.
You cannot do anything on your own.
So up from them, you are allowed to touch them, yeah, or they
only
kiss
if they
you.
take your hand and then put on.
And even, I mean, it's like close your eyes and they touch you, yeah, in their face, on your dick, yeah. One is fluttering on your dick, and you feel, oh, a second is coming. Another one is kissing you and say, whoa, what's good? No, because we men, we are in what we can see. Yeah, without our expression by our eyes, because from the sexuality, we need our first kick. The starting kick is something what we see, what is happening around us. Is it a girl, a lady, for example, if you're straight sex, which attracts you? She's something what you really like at the moment? No, smile, face, color of hair, what else, body figure, no? So, and this is not going to happen. You just can react, you cannot act, and you feel. And that was so crazy. And that was a starting sequence. And after the command came from a commentator that we can, from now, lift our blinding things from our eyes, and I was, of course, watching what happened with the other guys. It was kind of the same thing. And they all were in some situations, and it was so great, really, really. I had such a great feeling, amazing. I would say, really, that was the first or the greatest experience in that field.
Okay.
No?
That's crazy. How do you... So I know you use online platforms in Germany, where you have established presence, you are a known figure there. But if someone wanted to get into that world, how would they go about doing that?
To step into that lifestyle world?
Yeah, how do they find those events? Like, how do they find their first event?
Yeah. So, Of course, even when you start your web search, and you can only get in contact, or you can only reach some results by web. So online, offline, only if you meet or you know people around you in your friend field, for example, when you can use them. Okay. Otherwise, you just need online web search. When you Google it, for example, you definitely come straight to that leading platform in that field, as I told before, Joy Club. And there's a one category. It's only about events. There's a huge list. You can categorize it by or limit it by a specific area. Even, for example, you want to search something in center of Berlin, Cologne, Hamburg, Frankfurt, Munich. What else? Specific type of a party, BDSM, fetish, or what else? And there's a guest list with people who they have an account on the platform. Mainly they share some pictures and information and data about their sex, lifestyle, and all that stuff. You can get in contact with them ahead a party is happening. And let's say you can get in contact with the community at all. You can join some specific groups. Well, for example, groups like specifically in an area, city, or a specific fetish field. Yeah. So, but the main answer is you can only really scalable join those parties by web search. Joy Club.
Does it only work in Germany or is it international?
So I can tell you a little bit about that because they hired me as a model for some of their campaigns. So I have a few informations about that. They started to go international 3 years ago. After they started those international campaigns, COVID happened. So recently they are operating 80% in Germany or in German-speaking areas like also Austria, Switzerland, Netherlands, Belgium. And they are straight operating additionally in Spain and Italy, but mainly in Germany.
Okay. Who's their biggest international competitor? Do you know that?
Years ago, I did some research on that. It had to do with my escort agency, all that stuff. So there's not even one worldwide on the macro scene operating.
Well, there's FetLife. There's FetLife.
FetLife. I mean, there are a few.
But it's for BDSM more and fetishes.
Yeah.
But it's very big.
Yeah.
It's like Facebook of
Yeah.
kinky people.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe you know of some more.
No.
Okay.
No. No.
I remember you telling a story of a girl. Oh, some stripper thing. A girl running towards you. Carrying.
Jesus! Well, this evening you okay? You can.
Let's do that.
Okay.
That is a hilarious story.
Okay. Okay. You mean my stripper career?
Oh yeah, because you were a
It was my-
stripper,
it was my
right? You were a stripper
career.
for a
So
while.
shortly- Okay.
This dude, guys, you have to understand. Can we tell how we met, or is it too much?
No, we can. Yeah, we can.
So we met. Where we just started chatting, and then we started chatting online. Then we started chatting about all types of topics, and then all of a sudden we were like completely fucked up. Then like in like a year ago in your apartment. Anyways, and then so I just meet people like this all the time. I don't know how. I don't know. Similar people attract each other, I guess, or something. So yeah, you told me about your career as a stripper. Tell me that crazy story about that Viking lady
Jesus. Okay. So for your audience, at that time, I was 19 years young. So I just finished high school, was entering college, and had an internship at a bank. So I said, okay, well, I'm young, I'm sporty, my hormones on a high level, less money in my pocket. And at my fitness gym, I met some guys in my hometown village. Their pockets were full of money, and they were crackheads, but nice guys, but crackheads, all the time talking bullshit and all that stuff. And they had ladies all the time, fun and fun stories every weekend. I said, well, guys, what are you doing? I said, okay, here comes the story. We are a stripper group, kind of the Chippendales and all that stuff. If you want to join us, we can teach you for that. So here's the number of our agency. Make an appointment. I did that, and one came to the other. I signed a small contract, and the deal with the agency was, okay, please, no entertainment in our hometown. Yeah. So just far away, as far as possible. Okay. Because as I told you before, and you know, that was the first time when I stepped into that very serious business field.
Yes, you're a serious guy.
Okay, so
Double life.
yeah,
This is the real example of double life.
Yes, it is, and I love it.
Because the whole story about how you ended up in Latvia it just shows how serious your business side is.
That's not a story.
That's not a story for
No,
here.
yeah,
No.
that's not true.
But
Yeah.
but yeah,
So,
okay,
yes.
stripper career.
So I had my first experience. So, and it was straight in, let's say, in some weeks where we had those called Blockunterricht. That means in English, in one time period of a few weeks, maybe 2 or 3 months, you were sitting in a college, okay, and learning university stuff and all that also. And around you are only bankers and internship mediate bankers and professionals, what else? And in the beginning of the year, every year in Germany, we have that carnival. And you know, Germans are really crazy at carnival time. They really celebrate that as a fifth time of the year. And so that came, and with that, there were some orders from party clubs in different cities, more to the south, close to Austrian and Switzerland border. And I was waiting in the morning hours at my college class, and got a call on my mobile that those guys, also from the same agency, came with a small car to my college place and to pick me up, so that we from there had a 4 or 5 hours drive to the first location. In that whole weekend or evening, 2 days trip, we had 6 or 7 events. My first event was in a club. And let's try to share the experience. You enter the club not by using the main entrance. So you need to enter those clubs in a hidden entrance for delivery guys or what else. So you drive with your car all around the way to the back of a club. You give some random guys a call. They say, "Hey, we are here. You're lowering your voice and all that stuff." They open it. They come on, get in here, fast. In half an hour, your show starts. You need to give over not a USB stick with your playlist. You give a CD. Yeah,
Floppy disk.
Yes. So and we said, okay, here's the CD for the first stripper. That was me, because I was the unexperienced guy. So Of course, I was at first. And they said, okay, here's some sort of locker room. So change your clothes. I had a story. I was a soldier. I was clothed in military stuff, camouflage, all that. Huh? Sunglasses. Under the clothes, my body was all covered with oil already. Yeah, I did some push-ups and all that stuff to pump up my muscles at that time. I still have some. So, and then when you recognize a knocking on the door in the locker room, then some security guys say, "Okay, now it's your time. Now it's your time," and you have to know you cannot easily go out of that locker room and go by your own to the dance floor. It's impossible because at that time in the year, Carnival, Schwer Donnerstag in German language, in English, it's kind of a heavy Thursday. That heavy Thursday is only for women. No men are allowed in the clubs. Only women time. The whole day. Okay? You cannot enter by yourself. Yeah? The locker room, you cannot leave it. You cannot go to the dance.
You need security.
You need security. You need a few guys around you that turtle you up, secure you, and bring you to the dance floor, where also security guys are waiting and pushing away the crowd. And for me, it was my first time. I said, "What is happening here?" Everything was so fast. Yeah. So the other stripper said, "Hey man, you're doing it great. Go out there. We support you." Two of them came with me, pushing me all the time, saying, "Well, guy, here, it's your song. You're well prepared. Yeah, your performance. You trained with us. It's cool. Go there. Enjoy that." Yeah. So and I did. So and the security turtle, they open it. They squeeze you out of the middle to the dance floor. Then you realize, okay, I'm the only person here, and all around you in a 360 view are screaming ladies, drunken ladies, and screaming drunken ladies are not that ladylike. Yeah, so they are yelling, they are throwing champagne glasses, all that stuff, and
For real?
and then the DJ plays the first song, and then they from the outside, the stripper guys, they scream, "Start dancing, start," and I did that, you know. And I started to perform, dance a little bit, I was playing a little bit with first row of ladies who were standing beside the dance floor. Try to get in contact with them so that I can say, okay, one is very in that performance. I can take her to the middle with a chair and the flag and banana and all that stuff. Yeah, you know. So that was the plan what I had, but it came totally different. I was flirting a little bit by dancing with one and two ladies, and then from the back, a huge shadow was coming. I was only literally recognizing that in my back field, in my back view, something like that. And then a huge person, and I was focused on one and two ladies. I was dancing with them, but I recognized that a huge person is coming to me. That person catched me. She lifted me. She was throwing me over her shoulder and running around in circles on the dance floor and was screaming, "That guy is mine! That guy is mine!" And remember, guys, I was dressed up like a military guy. So
how did the story end?
So
Were you
yeah,
hurt?
security came. They were running behind us, like in a cartoon. Yeah, with Speedy Gonzales or what else. They catched her. They stopped her. They tackled her, and I was shocked by that. Yeah, but performance need to go further. Yeah, so.
How did the performance continue?
It was fun. I was always all the time. I was laughing. That also, of course, the other strippers, they came also trying to help, trying to support. Yeah, and they said, "Okay, what we gonna do?" We said, "Okay, well, come on, we need to perform here." And they said, "Okay, dude, give your best, make some dance, go your story ahead run for the plan, and I did that. Yeah, so but it was fun. It was something like boom. I said, well, what the fuck I'm doing here? Yeah, so that was the first experience, and until the next day we had additionally 4 or 5, I think so. And after that, really during the night, I think it was 4 in the morning, we drove back to my town, and straight before the next day college starts, they brought me back to my college. I joined the first class. I was sitting there.
Straight out of the car?
Yeah, I was sitting there. And the guys left and right beside me, they asked me, hey, what have you done yesterday on that special first day? I said, well, nothing special. I was at home. And can you imagine, in my brain, in my mind, it was all those stories running. And I said, well, oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Robin Hood,
yes.
thank you a lot for doing this.
Appreciate that.
It's been fun.
Cool.
We wanted to do this a year ago. We finally did this. Any last wishes? Any last comments? Anything you want to ask the audience? Anything you want to wish them, or anything else?
Yes. So spontaneously, I will just say something to the audience. Never try to hide your inner feelings. No? What is happening inside you? If you have the feeling to go into that direction or this direction, go for it. Don't give that much shit about other people's opinion on your way of life. That is very important. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, what did I tell you guys? This dude has some crazy and amazing stories. Well, guys, thank you for listening. And if you want to join me on my adventures in Mexico, New York City, or somewhere else in the USA or Europe, then again, down in the description, you can find a link to find out more about how coaching with me usually works. You can read all the description, fill the form, and I'll get back to you with all the details about dates, cities, prices, and everything else. And if you want to join our group chat with more than 400 guys from literally all over the world, then head over to saintrobert.blog, join the community, and you will receive the invitation link to join the group chat in the welcome email. Thank you for listening, and see you guys in the next episode.